Hey there, it's Kay, and thank you so much for joining me for today's budget video where I'm going to be sharing with you guys my real paycheck budget numbers based off of my real income from my first paycheck of July and how they compared to my monthly estimated expenses. But before I get started, if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're returning to my channel, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for joining me again. And without further ado, let's get right into this budget video. So here we are, opened up to my paycheck number 1 budget sheet. And if you normally watch my content, you might notice that this is completely empty. Normally I do fill out the budgeted numbers based off of my monthly budget ahead of time before I film, but I wanted to be a little bit in depth on this one in case anyone was curious as to how I get those numbers. So the way my budgets typically work, because I get paid bi-weekly, so I normally get paid twice a month, I will use the first paycheck to pay all of my fixed expenses at the beginning of the month, which are usually like less expensive, and also budget out all my variable expenses and extra savings and things. And then the second paycheck is normally for my rent and utilities and also picking up any extra debt payments. So this paycheck should work out exactly the same as that. And so this is the monthly budget, so it's going to be like divided in two. So since I estimated for the month $2,800 off of 2 paychecks, this estimated paycheck would be about $1,400. And then the bills that I would be paying for my fixed expenses are what I normally like to call my S group, my S bills. So Spotify, Sprint, Safeco, and then also my tuition is on auto pay, which usually falls around the paycheck number 1 time frame. So all of those are going to go in here. And let's see, Spotify is 5, Sprint I estimated 36, Safeco 133, and tuition 50. So let's go ahead and add those up. 5 plus 36 plus 133 plus 50 is 224. From 1,400 leaves 1,176. So that is the estimated cost of my fixed expenses for this pay period. And then moving down to my variable expenses, I always like to try to have all the money for my variable expenses up front at the beginning of the month. So I'm going to put all my categories that I budgeted for here. And Easy Pass, which I don't always budget for, but it's in this month. And so I'm going to put all of the amounts that I budgeted for in here. So 80 for allowance, 100 for gas, because I went over last month, 325 for food, 40 for laundry, 80 for pets, and 30 for Easy Pass. And so that adds up to 655. And we had 1176 minus 655 leaves 521. So then we'd carry that over. And then next I like to fill my sinking funds so that if I do need to spend for my sinking funds, I have like the max amount at the beginning of the month. So let's see. I budgeted for all of them. Car maintenance 100, home 25, medical 25, personal 25, phone 300 because I really just want a new phone now, and vet 25. That totals up to 500. So 521 minus 500 leaves 21. So then I would just use that to go towards the debt goal for the month, which is Nelnet D. And then that would jumpstart the goal, because the goal for the month is $495.50. So then this 21 will go towards it, and then the second paycheck will usually fulfill the goal. So that's where I get my estimated numbers from. I'm gonna grab my actual paycheck income number, and then we can go ahead and get started on the real budget numbers. All right, so I zoomed in so we can really focus on these exact numbers. And I'm really excited to say that my paycheck was a lot more than I budgeted for. So I do have a lot to work with here. So I only had my income source from my regular day job, and the paycheck came out to be $1,714, which is certainly more than I budgeted for. So $1,714 is what we're working with. So we're going to carry that down into fixed expenses first. And my Spotify came out on autopay for $4.99 like it always does, because I have the student discount. Sprint was interesting. I did mention that I knew I was going to be getting a bill credits, but the bill credit was supposed to be for my iPad line because I had activation issues. The iPad line hasn't shown up on my billing statement yet, but the bill credit did. So instead of being $36, it's 36 minus 15, which is 21, which means that for August, I should be expecting a prorated double bill for my iPad. So instead of being like normal, it's going to be higher, because phone lines are weird and they do that sometimes. And then my auto pay for my car insurance, which is through Safeco, came out, and it is at that new low rate off my new policy. So $133 like I budgeted for. So that's great. And my tuition is on auto pay as well. So that came out for $50. So I'm going to need the calculator to total these up. 5 plus 21 plus 133 plus 50, 209, which 209 plus 15 is 224. So that makes sense there, because this gave us a surplus of 15, and everything else was exactly what we budgeted for. And we did come in with a surplus of $314. So $1,714, which is what we came into fixed expenses with, minus 209 is $1,505. 314 plus 15 is 329, which will be our surplus right now. So 1505 minus 1176 is 329. So we know we're on the right track. So we have, bill total was plus 15, and now we are total surplus 329. So let's come down to variable expenses. We're going to pull down the 1505, and I'm not going to change anything that I budgeted for. I still think these are good amounts, and I should be fairly safe with these. So I'm going to leave all of these. For $655 of variable expenses. So 1505 minus 655 leaves 850. And we came in on a positive 329 with no change. So positive 329, which we can verify if we take 850 minus 521, is $329. So moving up into sinking funds, we have $850. And so this is the part where I could, if I wanted to, put more into saving in my sinking funds because I have more than I budgeted for. But I think these amounts are more than plenty. And just being able to save anything compared to last month is totally fine with me. So I'm going to leave these amounts. For a total of $500 going to sinking funds, which is still a really huge contribution. So I'm not even mad at that. So $850 minus $500 will leave $350, and we were still plus $329 with no change. So $350 minus 21 is $329. So then this $350 is just gonna go straight into debt, which is gonna give me an even bigger head start on hitting my debt payoff goal for the month. So this whole $350 will be going to Nelnet D, and this is how the budget will zero out right here. And $350 is $329 more than 21, which causes me to go over, or I like to call it a deficit. So it caused me to go over when I was surplus, and it's going to zero everything out. And I didn't budget anything for extra savings based off the income of this paycheck. I did budget savings for the month, so that would most likely come out of paycheck number 2. And so the last thing I want to do is just notate on my Nelnet D that I fulfilled $350 out of the goal, which was $495.50. So that's a really, really big contribution to be making just off of the first paycheck. That's really exciting. And depending on how my second paycheck goes, I might actually be able to, sorry, I hit the camera there. But depending on how paycheck number 2 goes, I could even potentially start paying towards another student loan this month. So if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I sincerely do appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, I would really love to see you follow me on my journey by subscribing down below because it's free and it really, really helps out my channel. You should also hit the notification bell so that you do get notified when I upload, and also follow me on Instagram at KBudgetPlans for general planner content as well as updates on my uploading schedule. And also, I hope you can forgive my voice for being a little bit raspy because I just woke up. It's like 8 a.m. and I really just wanted to film this and get this out to you guys as soon as possible. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you down below in the comment section, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace out.